As all this solo stuff meant for the band, I mean, there have been reports in the English press that, maybe there'll be another album, maybe not, and the band's pissed off because you've gone, and done this solo thing. Is there anything to that? Or?
I changed my phone number. They don't call anymore. I'll tell you what. We all got together this past Saturday at Dave's wedding. Yeah. Dave got married. And the 5 of us were together in tuxedos, and it was pretty cool. It was good to see everybody, and there's one truth of the whole matter is that even if the band broke up today and I was lucky enough to continue with a solo career that was as successful as the band's, I could never do Giant Stadium for the first time. I could never do Russia or Castle Donington or have a #1 record or do anything for the first time. We were 5 kids from a garage that no one bet on, that no one thought would ever happen, and and we've always been that underdog. There was never a fight within the band. The press created the whole thing. Yeah. It started in the English newspapers. I got it by the wonder of facts. It's all Ovi for Bon Jovi was the headline. I will never forget it. Richie's disgruntled, Tico quit. Yeah. And I'm going, I haven't talked to the guys in about 6 weeks. I wonder if the band's over. And I hadn't talked to anyone to find out for sure. So one thing led to another, and it started to get ugly. Yeah. And it was because we were all reading the press. So we got together, for Dave's wedding, and it was really great to see everyone. Yeah. I don't want it to end.
Do you think there'll be another album?
I want it to be. I want there to be another album, absolutely. Yeah. I want it to be bigger and better than we've ever been. But there for sure, there definitely are not any plans to run in the studio and do one.
Yeah. So it's sort of up in the air at the moment.
It is. It's still up in the air.
Mm-hmm. You had mentioned you don't read the rock press. Probably a good idea. But I wonder if the other guys do, if it bothers them, because you've always had trouble with critics, and they say, well, it's not this, it's not that, it's too popular, and how can it be good?
Yeah. I read the press about us more than anyone else does, and I try not to read it if I can help it. Yeah. Because we're not the critics' favorite, especially since we got popular. Yeah. And we're not going to be critically acclaimed. Yeah. We're just not. I'd like to be, because I think that anyone who puts out a record, at the end of the day, no matter who he is or how big his band is, wants people to like him. Yeah. So, I'd like to be liked too. You don't make a record so that people can go, you suck, and you go, that's great.
What do these critics want? What do you suppose it is about them?
I don't know what they want, and I don't write for them anyhow. Yeah. As long as... at the end of the day, the music I write makes people happy, and if having hit records means that it makes somebody happy, well, then that's cool. Yeah. I would love more than anything if I was to do another Rolling Stone cover or a Spin cover, that they took me verbatim what I said and what the question was. Yeah. Not made their assumptions, not said, well, his hair is this and he is... Come on, who cares? Yeah. Did you write a song? Yeah. Is it a hit song? Yeah. Did people like it? Maybe. Yeah. End of interview. But they put me on their cover. Why? Because it sells magazines.
Exactly.
So they can slag me all they want, but they know damn well that it sells magazines, so then they're forced to put me on. Yeah. Where's that at? But I do it because I want the people that do like us to know where I'm coming from, and the people that don't like us to maybe at least understand us. Yeah.
Did you start sneaking out? You have to go to bars to see bands in New Jersey, right? Yeah. Definitely. Did you start sneaking in at an early age?
Oh yeah, I was 16. I was 16 when I first started sneaking into the bars down on the shore, and down in Asbury there was a place called the Fast Lane. Mm-hmm. And I remember, real well seeing Tico, as a matter of fact, playing with a band called T. Roth and Another Pretty Face, opening for David Johansen. I was 16, and so you go to school the next day and you see, what'd you do last night? I watched Dallas. What'd you do? Man, I saw this cat, David Johansen, and he had these flame flowing. And, he had these, T. Roth had these things that exploded fire in a club that the ceiling was as low as your house, So he'd be like, fire, and then you'd see, the roof, and go, wow, he singed the roof. This is great.
Did you create problems when you started bringing home all these loud rock and roll records? Was it
no,
the usual classic
not
story?
so much. It wasn't like, I think with me, you see, when I was real young, that's when I was experimenting with drugs and booze and staying out all night. I was 13 or 14 years old, smoking dope and dropping acid, and you're going like, Johnny's got a problem. He's 13, you know. Fortunately for me, and I think, you know, if there's a such thing as a guardian angel, you know, God looked down over me and said, today you're going to have a bad trip and you'll never do drugs again.
Yeah.
I'm still scared, and I'm 28. I don't do drugs, man. I stay far away from the shit because I did some stuff when I was a little kid, and I regret it ever since. So at least if I was playing these bars at 16, 17, 18, not bothering with high school or being so determined, at least my parents knew what bar I was at and why I was there.
Yeah.
So they were really supportive, real supportive of my being in a rock band.
Yeah. They must be delighted by now, I suppose.
I think that they're very proud. Yeah, I think.
Were they happy about the wedding?
Well, it took a while. Definitely took it, just like all the rest of our fans. My parents are my biggest fans, and it took a while. You did what? Yeah, oh yeah, that one hit real hard.
Well, they must have seen this coming, right? So you guys worked together for
We've
10
been
years,
together
right?
for 10 years, you know. I mean, it was just, I woke up that day, and the honest to God truth was, I woke up, said, what are we going to do today? And at the time, I had a #1 single. I had just sold out a bunch of nights at the Forum. Little Richard played. It seemed like the entire Los Angeles rock scene comes to see you. You're really proud of yourself. You got a big billboard up on Sunset Boulevard. When you open the hotel window, you see the 5 guys staring at you. You go, this is a good day. You know, I had the #1 album. It just reached 5 million. #1 single, sold out shows at the Forum. And I went, how am I going to top this? So I went to the tattoo parlor, got a tattoo, took Snake, got him his first tattoo. Then it was still, how am I going to beat this?
Yeah.
And I said, let's go to Vegas and get married. She said, nope, I'm not going.
She said no?
She said, no, absolutely. And I said, no, I'm serious. If we don't go now, I'm not going. So I guess she figured, you know, he's pretty serious. And we went and got back before anybody knew I was gone.
Kept it quiet for a while, right?
Kept it quiet.
How did this putting this record come about, getting like Jeff Beck on it and Little Richard and Elton John? Did you just call these guys up and say, let's do it, or?
Jeff was the first guy that I even considered. They said, well, who are you going to get to play if you're not going to use your band? And I thought, let's get Beck. And then I said, well, if we can't get Beck, let's get Clapton. And then jokingly, I said, well, if we can't get Clapton, let's get Elvis to come in, because you know, if you're reaching for the stars, you might as well bring Elvis back. And I went through the channels that you got to go through to get to Beck, and I did. And he called me back so quick that I thought he was blowing me off. You know, he said, I'd love to do the record. It sounds like a great idea. I'll come to California. Sure, I got to go by. And I'm thinking, sure. This means he'll call his manager, who'll call my manager, who'll call me, that says, you know, nothing for you, you're out. So he was in the studio that first day that he was supposed to show up, quicker than I even got there.
Jeez.
He was ready to go. Poor guy was jet lagged to death. He wouldn't leave until I was happy with everything. And he was, it was a real pleasure.
Yeah.
Real,
There's some great footage that I saw of you guys in the studio, and you're actually telling Jeff, like, could you maybe do it this way?
Yeah.
Jeff, I think, whoa.
Yeah,
God.
well, you're sitting there with Jeff Beck. I mean, it was amazing, because as his gear came in, it arrived a couple days before he did. And it was funny because we all walked in the room and opened up like the famous Telecaster, you know, and everyone looked at it and went, ooh, ah, you know, you had to go, ah, and touch it, you know, ooh, ah. Nobody would pick it up and play it, but everybody looked at it and, checked it out. And then the thing was, now we're going to find out Jeff's tricks, okay? Now we're going to figure out that the guy doesn't really do it. He's got this computer, right? Honest to God, he picks up a guitar, he's got a little distortion box, and rent him a Marshall. He doesn't care where it came from, what it looks like, he'd plug into it, and it sounds unbelievable.
Wow.
And that was the story of Jeff. And one thing led to another, but you had Beck, who had to be the lead guitar player. It only made sense. Danny Korchmar is no slouch on guitar.
Yeah.
He's pretty amazing. Aldo is really amazing. Waddy Wachtel, another amazing guy.
Yeah, right.
And then you got me to bang on all the chords that I want to, and then you pull rank and say, it's my record. So you got 5 guitar players in the room fighting for position.
Great.
And we said, well, jokingly, what other legends can we get to play on this record? And Waddy Wachtel, who was in the Expensive Wino, said, I know Keith Richards. And everybody went, Keith Richards. And then we thought about it, and you're going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No more guitar players, So Keith was out, and he wasn't even in.
So what's this Michael Jackson story?
Michael was in a hotel in Japan with us, and we, of course, wanted to meet him very badly. And Freddie DeCipio was nice enough to take us up to meet Michael. And we started rapping about how we were just come from Australia and had these great, like, wigs and sunglasses and mustache disguises that fooled even our road crew, and it was great. And, geez, Michael, you know, if you got this, you could go out. You know, it's no problem. You could go out anywhere. Come with us. We'll go to the movies. We'll go out and have dinner or something. And, you know, Michael's so, you know, demure, and he's, yeah, that sounds great. Disguises, gee, what a great idea. Well, 2 weeks later, Michael's in the London paper. He's got the whole outfit on. He's doing this for 10 years already, but he's trying to make me feel good, right? So I'm laying in bed one night, and my wife and I are watching this movie, and you know, like in Japan, if you get to watch a movie, you're very happy, you know? And it's in English, and you're laying there, and you're going, yeah, English TV, all right? And the phone rings, and I hear this voice, and it's rather high-pitched voice, you know, and the movie's playing, and he's going, John? I'm going, John's not here. And I go, who's calling? He goes, it's Michael Jackson. I go, Michael, you sound like a woman. Because all I'm thinking is there's some girl called me in my room. I'm sitting there, oh, man, I'm dead. You know, what did I do? And it's Michael. He goes, it's Michael Jackson. What are you doing? I go, I'm watching a movie. You know, I'm going up. But I'm thinking, oh, no.
Well, what did he want?
He just wanted to hang out, you know, tell you the truth. And we all went to see him play, and it was great. Guys, he's beyond amazing, you know.
God, it's great. Jon Bon Jovi in his ancestral home in Rumson, New Jersey.